And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another Next Level broadcasting presentation of not only Raider Athletics, but Elks Athletics as well. Eric Huffman joining me from the Elk Rapids crew, and I'm Shane Smith here, coming down from Charlevoix. Because we both live in Charlevoix.
We drove down together today.
Yeah, that's right. Eric has been calling Elk Rapids games so far this season, and we're happy to have you on this special combined broadcast. We only get to do a couple of them a year. And I'm excited to be able to do it with my good friend Eric here.
Dude, reunited, and it feels so good. Normally we're kind of the basketball crew, and they kind of separated us getting into this football season this year.
Tough stuff. But we're back together, and we're happy to bring this one to you. Big night here for Elk Rapids. They're trying to play spoiler maker. Charlevoix going undefeated so far, scoring 185-25. On the season. Elk Rapids, Eric, they picked up a big win against Salona just this past week.
Yeah, they did, and waited till the fourth quarter to really pour it on, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah.
Being down 14-0 going into the fourth, you get a 90-yard pick six from Connor Carlisle to get you your first score, and then you get I think it was like a 60-yard pass play to Trey Dennis from the quarterback Trammell to get him within the 5-yard line. Got the tying score, and then the little excitement towards the end as they got a delayed game penalty on the extra point to give them the lead, but still got the extra point in and able to pull out with the 15-14 victories. We're getting ready for the national anthem.
So we're going to send it down here to our PA announcer, and we'll be back on the other side of this. Stay tuned. This has been your Charlevoix Hardware, Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, and Bingham Insurance pregame show. And we'll welcome you back in here once again to our Charlevoix Hardware, Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, and Bingham Insurance pregame show. Shane Smith, Eric Huffman. We've got a couple of camera guys down there, Burr Aubrey and Ryan Bentley. And then, of course, Miss Brown here running our ones and twos, as she has been so wonderfully for the Raiders the last several weeks now. So we're happy to have her. Yes, indeed. Our broadcasts have gone pretty darn flawless, thanks to her.
Yeah, and we've got not just this game going on. We've got some other games going on in Next Level Universe today.
Yeah.
You've got 5-0 Traverse City St. Francis currently taking on Boyne City. I think that game started at 5 o'clock, which is another big game for both teams. Currently in the third period, Gladiators lead the Ramblers 20-13. Again, still in the third period with a lot of game to go. 5-0 Gaylord St. Mary's is at 3-2 Pellston. The Hornets having lost their last two games, including a 50-0 loss to Central Lake.
Wow. And they started out the season strong,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, obviously starting off 3-0. And then Jared Steeman and the boys are in East Jordan for 3-2. East Jordan home with 3-2. Salona Ironman again coming off that close loss here last week, and homecoming to Elk Rapids 15-14.
And that'll be a good game. So anybody on the Next Level Universe watching in, especially on the Charlevoix side of our broadcast tonight, you might want to tune into that game periodically as well, because we'll be facing Salona next week home. And that will be, as Mr. Bob just pointed out to me last week, that will be their homecoming game. So without further ado, Elk Rapids will be kicking this one off. Charlevoix receiving. to begin the game. Garrison Sterrett, deep back, as well as Landon Whistler and Kalen Titus.
Yeah, my key for Elk Rapids will be, can their defense, which has done a pretty good job this season, holding most opponents down except for Boyne City when they gave up 30 points. Still doing a good job causing some turnovers. Can they hold down the Sterrett and Moran show?
We will have to see. That'll go for a touchback here. Again, Charlevoix has outscored their opponents 185-25 through the first 5 games of the season, scoring 37 points on average. So Charlevoix sets up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard.
Elk Rapids typically looks to pack in the box, see what's going to go on, if there's going to be a running game to start the game. They do make adjustments as the game goes on. Their safeties and their defensive backs do a pretty good job of hanging on to their receivers. And again, you had a 90-yard pick 6 last week, was really a key play of the game.
So on the Raiders' first offensive drive of the game, we'll see what they can do.
You got one deep safety for Elk Rapids.
It'll be a quick handoff to begin this one. Ian Moran getting some extra yards after contact and then some. He'll be crossing the 25 down to about the 27 or so, depending on whether they spot the ball.
Initial hit by Trey Dennis and brought down by Zach Cadwell. Trey Dennis hit a big, I believe it was right around a 60-yard completion, the pass play that got them close to the goal line last week for the tying score.
So while we have a moment here as teams get set up, we have a lot of sponsors to get through tonight. So we're going to start off with one of our pregame sponsors, Bingham Insurance. Running a small business can be risky. Charles knows all about that with Next Level Broadcasting. But one thing you can't leave to chance is your insurance coverage. Bingham Insurance wants to help keep you covered from the unexpected from happening. We'll get to the rest of that after this play. Elk Rapids sniffs that one out early.
Yeah.
Kalen Titus trying to run that one. So anyway.
Big hit there at the line of scrimmage by 21. Jake Murray will hear his name a lot, too. Leaning forward for a yard, so it'll be 3rd and short.
So Bingham Insurance wants to help keep you covered from the unexpected from happening. That's Bingham Insurance Company representing Auto Owners Insurance of Charlevoix. So it'll be 3rd and about 1 here, short 1. Ball spotted right about the 29.
Call out one of the middle linebackers, Brody Turner, sophomore. Great work subbing for Mason Cannon last week as a running back as well.
Well, speaking of running backs, Ian Moran taking that one up, and he got the first down by a couple of yards, falling on top of an elk and kind of rolling over him to get a little extra oomph.
Yeah, Cadwell and a couple of his buddies, not quite, can't stop him quite short of the first down, so we'll move the sticks.
Yeah, it's hard to stop Ian Moran, that's for sure. So Raiders pick up the first down at the 31 of their own.
The one thing to look out for Elk Rapids defense, too, is, like I said, they love to go in there and plug the box, but they can get tunnel vision at times, and if they're not watching their receivers, although they do a pretty good job, you can leak one down for a deep pass if you can connect it.
Sterrett and Isaac Benz here down at the bottom. Sterrett
nice
will get
screen.
The catch, yep. And gets a few yards there, south of the 35-yard line.
Turner and Colin McCormick on the tackle.
Okay. Solid gain of 5 there, so they'll spot the ball right at the 36. 2nd and 5 for the Raiders. 2 minutes gone by so far in the first quarter. Raiders methodically marching this one down the field. No play bigger than 6 yards so far. They get their first crack up against this Elk Rapids defense.
You see Braden Flutie, one of the linebackers here for Elk Rapids, really can move lateral really well and is one of their better running backs, too, really speedy.
And this will be a QB keeper. Jesk will gain a couple there as he takes that one up the center.
Get wrapped up by Traven Malbuff.
Okay. So it'll be 3rd and a long 3 coming up for the Raiders.
Wasn't quite sure. Almost looked like it was almost like a sidestep when he set that ball down there. I'm not sure, but regardless, you got what, a 3rd and 3.
Yep.
You okay there, buddy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my man.
Ever since, let me tell you, ever since COVID, I get sick. I have a cough for a long time. Fun stuff. Anyway, ball spotted here at the 38-yard line. Raiders again have 3 to go. Rare time we've seen back-to-back 3-down drives.
Nice job by Gatlin Zawara to stay home, wait for the QB, wrap him up. And not sure. The inching is close and be close to a first down, but not quite.
Be 4th and about a yard, so decision time for the Raiders. Do they want to try and go for it here against this Elk Rapids defense, see what they're made of, or are they going to punt it away?
Yeah, do they want to pull out the LA Rams play from last night, or they want to punt it, or what do you think they'll do?
Looks like they're going to
You know,
go
I said
for
that
it.
because they got stopped, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I know. I saw that. I wasn't
I
able
think
to watch
Charles
the game,
and
but
I
saw the
picked. I
highlights.
think Charles and I picked San Francisco to win last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. The Raiders going to go for it, try and get that first down, and they got it to stare it.
Yeah. Nice fake handoff and hitting the bubble screen out there for the first down.
They needed 1 yard. They got about 3. Settle again. Move the chains here. 7 plays for the Raiders so far. Gets the first down at their own 43.
Again, that key for Elk Rapids is to keep everything in front of them. Can they set the edge and not let anything over the top when it becomes time?
Elk Rapids not letting anything big get by the Raiders yet. 7
Now, and
plays,
a few weeks
23
ago,
yards.
I think it was a Sheboygan game. I know the defensive line forced at least 3 fumbles in that game.
Twins to the top. Yeah, we've got Ian Moran running out wide. There's a flag down. He won't gain more than a couple as he gets his way towards
Nice
the
lateral
45.
movement by Braden Flutie there, wrapping
Yeah.
him up, bringing him down.
Moran, the ball carrier, tackled by Braden Flutie. There's a flag on the play.
Got holding against the Raiders. So we'll back him up 10.
And while they back it up, we get one of my reads out of the
Hey,
way
there you
real
go,
quick.
yeah.
Hey, you need to enhance your brand, Shane? Sky Media 45 combines excellent photography with post-production to create stunning video and image content. Showcase your community event or business with our expert aerial solutions. We're ready to fly for you. Visit us at skymedia45.com.
Heck yes. Tom Clemenson does a great job, and he's taking care of that Gaylord St. Mary game
Yes.
tonight.
Oh!
And nearly caught there. Carter Greenacre just
That
a
was,
little bit low through his fingertips.
That was a yak play waiting to happen.
Yep. So it'll set up 2nd and 20 here. Again, after that Raider holding penalty a few moments ago, they got pushed back to their own 34. And while we've got another stoppage here, we want to thank Charlevoix State Bank. During a time of mergers, acquisitions, and name changes, the founders of Charlevoix State Bank saw a need for a truly local bank focused on our community and strong customer relationships. Those values continue to drive us today as we support high school athletics through our support of tonight's game.
Dude, you're like the micro machines, man.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Quick little pitch and catch here to Ian Moran. Gets past the 40 up to about the 44-yard line. So it'll be 3rd, and depending on the spot, should be about 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Brody Turner had a chance to get him down in the backfield, ends up eluding that guy and ends up getting almost to the original line of scrimmage.
Yep. So the Raiders gained 11 of their 20 yards needed there for their third down of this drive. We have not seen that much so far this season, apart from the opening game against Unionville-Seaboing. Otherwise, Charlevoix has been pretty much able to take care of business in the first 2 downs. So let's see here.
7:30 left to go down at Thurlby Field. Traverse City, St. Francis leading Boyne City 20-13 still.
We've got the ball, so we'll see how that goes. St. Francis, another one of the teams that we cover, as we roll out here. Good catch made. Second effort there. We'll see if they spotted him out on the sideline or if he, yep, they show the 4th down marker. So he'll be about a yard short.
A good patience, though, waiting for the receiver to open up, and then the receiver getting out of the grip of Trey Dennis. Get close to the first down, just not quite.
So it'll be 4th down and a long yard here. Raiders inching their way into enemy territory at the Elk 48.
Trying to check in on some of our other games around Next Level Universe when we got a chance. Early on, Gaylord St. Mary. Ooh, looks like Gaylord St. Mary, they just scored to go up against Pelston.
Got a big handoff here for
first
Ian
down, and then
Moran, and he's got green grass. Can he get in front of the? No, he cannot. He'll be pushed out of bounds, roughly the 15-yard line. Good defensive effort there. I couldn't quite make out the number.
Connor Carlisle ran him out of bounds.
There you are. Was 17. Okay.
Hey, when you've got me and the field announcer calling the same number, it must be right.
Well, there you go. Professional seamless gutters. Hey, your home gutters are always there when you need them to be. So is our good friend Orion Benningo.
Orion.
And that's why he started Professional Seamless Gutters. We'll finish that after this as the Raiders get back to the line. 1st and 10 from right about the 15. It'll be Garrison Sterrett working his way through the traffic, and he's in for the first Raider touchdown of the game.
Good job by the offensive line and your downfield blockers keeping that hole alive, or he was just able just to weave his way through there and go in basically untouched.
So that gets Raiders 6 on the board after just over 6 minutes of gameplay. One of the longest drives we've seen again this season, but it was a continuous effort. Raiders didn't look like they faltered at any one point in time other than, of course, the holding call. They just continued pounding the ball down the field, getting those 3 to 5 yard chunk plays, and you finally had a couple breakaways by Ian Moran and Garrison Sterrett towards the end. The ball's in the end zone. Raiders are up 6 and sitting happy at the moment, and then the kick is up and away and good. So 7-0, and we're going to step away for our first commercial break. Eric, we'll be back on the other side of this. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, huge selection of colors, plus Ace's award-winning service, you can be confident you're getting the best. Then buy in store or online for curbside pickup or free delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their paint.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
After I was so rudely interrupted by a Raider touchdown, I can't be too upset about that. We want to finish off Orion's due time here on air. Professional Seamless Gutters offers fast and experienced service and real-time quotes. But wait, there's more. There's always more. They'll actually answer your phone call. That's Professional Seamless Gutters at 989-619-3407. And tell them that we sent you.
Absolutely. 5.5 to go in the first in East Jordan. Red Devils lead the Mansalona Ironmen 6-0.
All right. That'll be fielded right about the 30-yard line, Eric.
Yep, Trey Dennis with the reception on the kickoff. He'll get to the 38-yard line where he's dropped by a couple of Raiders. 1st and 10.
Landon Whistler and Carter Greenacre there wrapping things up.
You know, real quick, you got in-state college games this weekend. Number 20, Michigan's going to host Wisconsin. They're the only team staying in the state this week. Michigan State going to go play Pat Mahomes II, take on Nebraska.
Well, he certainly liked to think himself as Pat Mahomes. Whether he is or not, that's another story.
Central's going to go visit Akron, while Eastern goes to take on Buffalo, and Western's going to travel all the way over to UMass.
All right. Eric, 1st and 10 here for the Elks. You're pretty familiar with these fine folks down there.
Sophomore quarterback. Ollie Trammell going to hand off to Flutie right up the middle. Flutie, he can run up the middle, and he's also quick enough. You can jet sweep him on the side, too, but nice run up the middle for a few.
Grayson Wardshaw there on the tackle, keeping the Elks from gaining more than about a yard.
And as you can tell, folks, you can Shane kind of does most of the stuff for Charlevoix, does most of the stuff for Elk Rapids. It's one of those kind of trade-off depending on who's got possession of the ball type deals.
I'm not going to step on Eric. He's been with these guys all season.
Well,
so.
Be careful. I am shorter than you.
Well, you're not that short. You almost get to my shoulder.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's on a chair.
Okay.
All right. Trammell out of the gun. To the left with a wing to the right. Hand off to Brody Turner. Met right at the line of scrimmage. Probably going to lose a half a yard on that. It'll be 3rd and long.
Landon Whistler and Ryan Glass both come in there on that tackle. And yes, indeed, they lose about a half yard, pushed back just south of their own 40.
And now I'm seeing already, because you have Brody Turner out there running up the middle, and normally that is a Mason Cannon play, as I see Mason Cannon still on the sideline, so I don't know how much of a lingering injury he has, and we'll see if he gets any time on the offense.
Okay.
I know you talk about sophomores. Elk Rapids a great job with their sophomores, too. The quarterback, he's a sophomore. Turner's a sophomore. I think they got 7 sophomores on their varsity right now.
Okay. Yeah, Charlevoix pretty much in lockstep with that.
McCormick in motion. Trammell's going to lose 2 tacklers. Oh, and McCormick's, no.
Up.
Are they going to call that a completed pass and a fumble? And they wave it incomplete. It'll fall.
All right.
It'll be 4th down. Not quite sure if he had enough to gain possession of that. Yeah, but what a nice effort from McCormick, almost holding that in, but it'll still be 4th down.
Peter Yanchulis gave Flutie all he could handle and then some, eventually wrapping him up just after he let go of the ball, and Doug Mortgage would have recovered it for the Raiders had it not been blown dead.
So the thing you want to look out for, Shane, is I talk about Elk Rapids defense kind of holding them in games, and besides a couple of big plays, they kind of kept the ball in them from them for the most most part, but a sustained drive by Charlevoix to get a score right away. And then you got a 3-and-out by Elk Rapids. So hopefully things can turn around before things get ugly.
You know, as much as I enjoy, being from Charlevoix, seeing the Raiders win, running clock the last couple of games.
Right.
It'd be nice to see a little competition every now and then.
Carlisle with the punt, fielded at the 29.
Get past the 35, the 40, and down we go. Ian Moran gets it to about the 44.
Tripped up by Gatlin Zawara again.
4:07 to go here in the first quarter, and we want to thank BC Pizza while we have teams switch around. Fans all around, it's pizza time, and BC Pizza is making it easier than ever to get you and your family a handmade hometown gourmet pizza from the one and only BC Pizza right here in Charlevoix. You're also welcome to try their grinder salads and their specialty pizzas. You'll know right away after the first bite, you made the best choice in pizza. That's BC Pizza.
The best gluten-free pizza that I've found yet.
There you go. So anybody looking for gluten-free pizza?
Detroit-style gluten-free
there you
pizza. Go grab it.
There's another handoff to Moran. Good patience there. Squirts around a couple of Elks and gets about 6 yards there.
Yeah, sidestepping a few of them
Yeah.
before Flutie brought him down. Gain of at least 5 on that. We'll give him second and a long 5, or a long 4, short 5 on that
There
one.
you go. Yeah. Nice marching band and pep band here from Elk Rapids. Always good to see good support there from bands from schools around the area.
Yes, decent turnout for Elk Rapids tonight. And also with the traveling crowd down there, obviously you don't have too far to go, but you still have to travel. And nice job by Charlevoix coming down here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night. Why not go for a drive and watch your
Absolutely.
team? Colin Jess goes for one pump, lets it go downfield, and it's hauled in. Nice catch there by Landon Whistler. He looks slow to come up, though. Thankfully, he seems all right.
You had Henry Veith there just kind of turn around, and he was right in position and just kind of, instead that if he'd have just put his arms up, might have been able to get a deflection. Yet his arm stayed down, and receiver able to come down with him.
So that moves the Raiders all the way down to about the 31. Wrong side of the 30, about the 26. My apologies.
Coming down to 3 minutes left to go in the opening period.
Yeah. Shotgun, here we go. Hand off once again to who other than Ian Moran, and he powers his way through, gets nearly all of the requisite 10 yards for the first down.
Yeah, diving forward for Cadwell jumped on him to stop the play.
Yeah, I'll give them about 7 is where they'll ultimately spot it, or so, if I can. Ace Hardware. Charlevoix Ace Hardware is proud to continually be a supporter of Charlevoix sports, schools, and the community. The team at Ace Hardware loves Charlevoix, and they're always there when you need them. Open 7 days a week. Ace Hardware of Charlevoix, right there on M66.
Love me some Ace Hardware.
So eventually trimmed it up a little bit, so it'll be 2nd and 2 here for the Raiders. Just rolling out there.
Good
Gets
bubble
the
screen
good
again.
completion to Carter Greenacre. And that'll be plenty for the first down as they work their way to about the 10.
Brought down by, once again, Connor Carlisle. Last week's player of the game.
We got a nice shout out here from Angie Reynolds saying both Ian and Kalen used to run around in my front yard and tease me about being a Michigan fan. Is that why they're so fast? Oh, maybe so.
We got, looks like an injury timeout going on right now. I don't know, he might be getting up under his own power. Maybe keep it here. And while we're waiting to get him off the field, you know, Shane, Brothers Tree Service has been providing exceptional service in northern Michigan since 2005. And this year they're celebrating 20 years of tree and plant care. So the next time you're in need of a tree, see what Brothers Tree Service can do for you online at brotherstreeservice.net.
All right, sounds good.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
313-774. Again, 313.
So the Raiders currently have the ball 1st and 10 from, looks like to be the 13-yard line.
Connor Carlisle, injured player. Coming off under his own power.
That's good. Got the wind knocked out of him, I imagine.
Bring the teams back on and let's reset.
All right, minute 56 to go here in the first quarter. Charlevoix already had one score at the 6-minute mark, and they're marching down at a quicker pace this time once again.
Would we call this second or third summer we're in right now? I think we already had
think
second
third.
summer.
Oh, yeah,
That's
for
what
sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
First and 10 and 13 for the Raiders.
And Colin Jeff's going to keep this one, working his way along the side, running 20 yards laterally, and he's in. Touchdown, Charlevoix.
Good job by Talon Jacobs. Held his block just long enough until he got around and then let go to not get that holding call.
So Raiders get 2 scores up on the board before we get through the first quarter, keeping right on pace with how they've been so far this season. And we got Mr. Jan Chulis going for the extra point.
You know, and some big plays. And again, around the edge, you know, again, Elk Rapids does a decent job between the tackles. It's when you get outside the edge and downfield is when you've got your opportunities.
And he drills that one through with Ian Moran holding it for him. So we're going to step aside again as the Raiders go up 14-0 for another commercial break. We'll be back on the other.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
All right, guys, here's what we get.
BC Pizza, hometown handmade gourmet.
Coach, what do we do? We get BC Pizza.
Yep, good. And here we go, Raider kickoff. That one fielded at about the 27. A couple of different Raiders wrap them up and haul them backwards. Landon Whistler there on the big tackle, as well as Carter Greenacre.
Coming down to crunch time down at Thurlby Field. 20-13, the Gladiators still leading Boyne City.
And Gladiators look to be the ones having the ball at the moment as well, marching their way closer to Boyne City territory.
First and 10 for the Elks at their own 32-yard line.
Because the Elks have the ball right about where they began last time, Eric. About the 33.
Yes, and let's see if we can't put together some type of drive and at least get a first down and small victories. Start from there.
That's right. We'll say
Trammell
they've
out of the
got
pistol.
gorgeous helmets.
Pitch out to Turner. Runs through Garrison Sterrett for he's wrapped up for after a gain of a couple.
Yep, Garrison Sterrett as well as Landon Whistler and Grayson Warchell all had a hand in finally getting him down after getting a yard.
Trammell, a very able passer of the ball, even as a sophomore. He can throw a frozen rope, and he can place the ball at times, too. There's a couple, if you watch the highlights on our Instagram page, you'd see a couple of plays where he's hit Carlisle down deep for a couple for some plays this season. So he's a very capable passer if he's given time. Pitch to Turner again.
And a nice job wrapping him up in the backfield again.
Nice pursuit by a Warchild to go up there and wrap him up.
Who's calling defense and who's calling offense?
I just, hey, if you're not quick enough, buddy.
Okay.
Quick draw McGraw.
Yeah, I have
you
a
know
long
who quick draw McGraw. You know, there's an age difference, people. I don't know
do
if
know
you
quick
understand.
draw
Okay.
McGraw. Thank
All
you.
right.
I'm not that bad. But I will say I've got a long-winded lead up into some of my calls. I'll give you that.
Of course, you get cut up in a play-by-play, and you just keep going and going. Elk Rapids going to show the spread. Trammell on third down. Gets out to Flutie and flat. Eludes one tackler. He's got a first down. He's going to drag another Raider across the 50-yard line. Looks like we'll get possibly a personal foul call after that. We'll wait and see what the official call is. But first down for Elk Rapids and getting past the 50-yard line.
Got past Garrison Sterrett, took Ian Moran to grab him around the collar.
Yeah, we're going to have a horse collar.
That's what I'm guessing this will be.
Yes.
indeed. So that'll keep the Elks marching downfield here.
You know, while they figure that out and march that off, football is a game predicated on facing adversity in order to accomplish one goal. In many ways, so is constructing your perfect dream home. And Mid-Lake Builders is here to help you and your family accomplish just that. Whether you are starting a new build or renovating a current one, Mid-Lake Builders has the experience, expertise, and most importantly, the staffing to get your project done on time. That's Mid-Lake Builders. Proud to be the official sponsor of the Hardest Working Player of the Game Award this season. And Shane and I will announce that sometime during the fourth period.
All right, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break and come back in about 45 seconds. Stay tuned.
With unique gifts, home accessories, wedding items, and so much more. The Lake House on Bridge Street offers so many things to make your home or even your visit to Charlevoix that much more special. When you want beautiful items that reflect Charlevoix the beautiful, stop in or visit them online at thelakehousecharlevoix.com for your own keepsake and your own personal memory of Charlevoix.
Have you ever wanted to try skydiving? This is Luther from Skydive Charlevoix. We specialize in first-time tandem skydiving and offer the best views in the entire Midwest. Jump from up to 2 miles high and free fall as fast as 120 miles per hour. Then, when the parachute opens, you can enjoy a peaceful camp.
We got to come in.
Trammell gets it to Turner. It's around the left side. Another flag on a play. He's going to dive forward after eluding a tackler. We'll see what the flag is here.
We'll catch up on that Skydive Charlevoix ad in a little bit.
Yeah, and real quick while we're waiting on the flag call, just ended at Thurlby Field. St. Francis holds on to that 20-13 victory over the Boyne City Ramblers. Holding on the offense will march them back 10 and reset.
All right.
So Gladiators still undefeated. Man, do they have a gauntlet of a schedule. I think they've got Notre Dame Prep next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they load themselves for bear every year. Their goal is to get to the state championship, and they're well on their way. First.
Wind the clock on 1st and 20.
Yeah.
Trammell sent 2 to the right this time. McCormick motion on the right, almost like you're looking for the jet sweep. Trammell hang on to it, elude one tackler, lean forward, and get a gain of about 3.
Mr. Warchall again there, the leading man to wrap him up. Coming off the pile as well, Sawyer Blazik. No gain there, it appears, for the Elks at the moment. They've got Angie.
We'll give him a game of about 5 on that one. Shane, be second 15.
That's right. I missed that. Yep, another check-in here from Angie Reynolds. Ian is Ohio State all the way. Kalen loves Michigan State. Very good. Thank you, Angie.
Go green.
Go white. So instead of second in Eastport, it'll be second about Torch Lake now.
That's good.
Thanks.
Trammell's got him in the spread this time. He'll look to pass.
Batted down by Mr. Sterrett.
Intended for Trey Dennis. Yeah, nice pass breakup.
All right, now I stepped on your call.
You're good. I was Sterrett on the pass breakup, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
It's all fun up here in the booth.
That's right.
Gaylord St. Mary's over Pelston, 16-0, second quarter. St. Mary's looking to go to 6-0.
That leaves just that East Jordan Mansalona game for us to check into here in a minute.
Yes, sir. Here comes Trammell looking to pass again. He'll tuck it and run. Diving grab and a stop by Andrew Grogan.
Yeah.
If he gets through that, he might. I don't know if he get the first down. He might get 5-6 yards after that before he's hit again.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, nice grab and hold down. Got a game in East Jordan, second quarter. East Jordan Red Devils 8 in the Mansalona Ironman 6.
Nice. All right. Again, for anybody interested, Charlevoix playing Mansalona next week, so tune into that game as well whenever you have the chance.
Yeah, get yourself your own scouting report.
Got a couple of good broadcasters over there, Christian Swinsicki and Jared Stamen.
Elk Rapids electing to punt. Carlisle, big boomer up high among the lights. Almost drops dead, almost like a loft wedge. It just dies when it hits the green.
Yeah, I wish I could have that skill on the green. But anyway, that's about the perfect punt Elk Rapids would want. Get the Raiders down to about the 15. And that's where we're going to step aside for another break, get through some more of our bill.
Have you ever wanted to try skydiving? This is Luther from Skydive Charlevoix. We specialize in first-time tandem skydiving and offer the best views in the entire Midwest. Jump from up to 2 miles high and free fall as fast as 120 miles per hour. Then, when the parachute opens, you can enjoy a peaceful canopy ride back to the landing area. Skydive Charlevoix also offers a scenic flight with every tandem jump. Enjoy an amazing bird's-eye view of Grand Traverse Bay, Little Traverse Bay, Beaver Island, and the entire northern Michigan shoreline. It's easy to book your jump online at skydivecharlevoix.com. That's skydivecharlevoix.com.
Got that ad taken care of from Skydive Charlotte. Colin Jess running around, scampering, and he'll be wrapped up by a number of Elks, Eric.
Yeah, initially hit by Colin Shockley, got away from him, and then Shockley came back and brought him down along with his buddies.
So it'll be a loss of 2 on the play for the Raiders, backing them up to their own about 13, 2nd and 12 from there. 9:30 to go in the first half. Raiders hold that 2-score lead, 14-zip.
You're able to get through that offensive line. It was one of those things you just kind of force the issue if you're Elk Rapids, maybe do more blitzing and trying to not give just time to look. And again, try to keep, though, you got to set that edge and try to keep that running game and the side game in between the tackles.
Shotgun twins to the bottom of the screen here.
Man-to-man.
Just looking for a pass. Heaves that one well over the head of Carter Greenacre by about 5 yards.
Yeah.
12.
Him and Colin McCormick got their feet tripped up a little bit. No flag on there, which is the right call. Yeah. Just fall incomplete. But it's one of those instances, too, as they're looking to plug the box and look for the run game. You can leak one of those guys out deep if you're Charlevoix and potentially catch up with that ball. If you can throw a deep enough balls, we're going to get a timeout by the Raiders.
All right, that'll give us a moment to thank Edge Attractants. Make the most of your time in the great outdoors this fall with Power Feed from Edge Attractants. That's Edge Attractants, located right in Ironton or on Facebook. Give yourself the edge this fall with Power Feed from Edge Attractants.
You know, Shane, come into Pearls and experience a taste of Louisiana right in the heart of northern Michigan. Located in Elk Rapids is Pearls Louisiana Kitchen, where an infusion of flavor awaits you. That's Pearls Louisiana Kitchen, a proud sponsor of Elk Rapids football on Next Level Broadcasting.
And Eric, I think you're a fan of this place, the Lake House.
Oh, I know that place.
Yeah, from the moment you walk into the Lake House, the essence of easy living and life on the water shines through. Why am I reading this with the owner here next to me? I don't know. They offer unique gifts, including home accessories and furry-friendly items. Their assortment of gifts and home decor is perfect for your home, cottage, or boat. Come visit the Lake House to commemorate your visit to one of Michigan's premier resort destinations. They are located at 403 Bridge Street, or visit them online at thelakehousecharlevoix.com.
I've always felt weird making my own reading about my own store, but you do a great job, so I appreciate it.
All right, well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you given your time here to Next Level Broadcasting as
Third
Colin Jazz
right outside the goal line.
Lets it go, so it'll be a harmless incompletion as they had him right there at the goal line.
Got one slow to get up here. Let's see what we've got. Brody Turner standing over his buddy. See if we can't get a number on him. Yeah, real close to the goal line. And fortunate, because within the grasp, too, that he threw that pass, kind of a wobbler. Lucky that it wasn't possibly intercepted, too.
Yeah.
So we wait and see who the injured player is. Getting back to Pearls real quick. You know, Pearls is also a proud sponsor of the player of the game this year, providing a $10 gift card during their next meal at Pearls, and we'll award that player of the game sometime before the game is over tonight.
Yeah, we'll do the same. Charlevoix Culvers gets every player of the game winner gets a Culvers Concrete Mixer Award. So we'll be handing those out sometime there towards the end of the fourth quarter, and unfortunately the young man for Elk Rapids is up, but he's not able to put much weight at all there on his left ankle. So hope for the best for him.
Yep, Gatlin Zawara, injured player, called his name a few times tonight. Hopefully get him checked out by the training staff over here and get him back out there.
In the meantime, Elk Rapids defense set up strong here with Raiders buried deep in their own territory. Pushed him back to the 13, and that's where they're going to have to punt from, as 2 incompletions here have kept the Raiders from getting anywhere upfield. Colin Jess facing a lot of pressure there on that drive. So for the moment, still a 2-score game with 8:45 to go in the first half. As Ian Moran boots that one out of his own end zone practically.
Carlisle lets it drop. He'll get it at his own 49-yard line. Elude one tackler, and he'll get almost swung down by a second, and then wrapped up by a third, and he'll lose some yardage on that play and end up about the 35-yard line.
It took a mighty effort from Talon Jacobs after a couple of missed tackles from both Garrison Sterrett and Colin Jess. Spun him around. He was able to stay up on his feet. But that worked out well for the Raiders because that pushed the Elks all the way back to about the 35 to begin this drive.
You know, Emma, during the course of each and every day, we all face an abundance of risks, some that we don't even consider, some we do. For protection against foreseeable and unforeseeable risk is where Bingham Insurance Company comes in, capable of providing coverage for your home, auto, life, and even pet insurance. And Shane knows I've got a bunch of them. They do it all. That's Bingham Insurance Services, a trusted and proud auto owners insurance affiliate.
You ever go to Eric's house? The dogs come around the door, and you open up the door, and you just step in. It's like a sea of fur all wiggling around in front of you. They're so cute.
I love my buddies.
Yes, indeed.
Braden Flutie on first down. Going to try the right side and gain of a couple, as we almost had an Elk and a Raider. Want to exchange pleasantries there for a second.
Yeah, you know, you'll have that. Landon Whistler, Ian Moran coming up off the pile.
Just exchanging little greetings, you know, getting addresses for Christmas cards and all that.
That's what we'll call it.
You got it.
Well, we want to thank Martin Concrete. I tell you, the concrete was set pretty well on Elk Rapids' last defensive stand. Looking for concrete work done right? Then look no further than Charlevoix's very own Martin Concrete. Concrete patios, footings, foundations, and so much more. But don't just take our word for it. See for yourself by visiting them online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com. They are your concrete specialists. How about
Trammell under center.
Dang, I'm
going to roll to the left. He's got Jake Moore for a first down. He's going to spin around, get to the 50. Fumble on a play, recovered by the Raiders.
Ian Moran falls on it.
I don't know if that's a punch out or a hand in there, needless. The ball comes out. Charlevoix recovers, and a big gain goes for nothing as we're headed the other way.
Charlevoix recovers it right back at their own 45. I believe it was the way Ian Moran kind of wrapped him up, and the guy, unfortunately, your Elk Rapids guy was spinning. I think it was a punch out. Got the ball out, and then Ian Moran fell on it. And the Raiders have it right at their 45.
It's just hard to be too tight and wrapping around that ball when you're trying to spin and elude, because then that ball comes loose and you get that phantom hand and they're knocking her away.
A lot of centrifugal force there, knocking you up.
But against some promising looks from the offense, you just hope that they can get it together and sustain a drive at some point.
Well, at the moment, they're going to have to stand strong again, as the Raiders only have 55 yards of field to work with, and a good completion there to Talon Jacobs to midfield. Gain them about 5.
Yeah, he's met by Trey Dennis right there. The whistle will stop the play. Second down.
Yep. 50 right on the nose. Dennis there on the tackle.
What did you think of the Lions game last week?
Well, I thought it was pretty darn good. I figured the Browns would be able to deal with the Lions a little bit better defensively than they did, but hey, that just goes to credit the Lions' prowess out there on the field. There's a pun. They have just been able to mow down teams left and right so far, apart from Green Bay, but that's what Thanksgiving's for, as Colin Jess works his way out of a few tackles past the midfield mark and may gain 3 or 4 yards, depending on the spot and the flag call.
I'll be curious about the flag. That's not a hole, but you also have Braden Flutie really timing his run, trying to get behind the line of scrimmage just as the ball is being snapped, and they're going to march it backwards.
Yeah. Legal shift there for Charlevoix. So Raiders have shot themselves in the foot here on a couple of drives now with some penalties. See if they can overcome it as they get back to a 2nd and 10 scenario here.
So now you've got Detroit. They're going to Cincinnati, you know, playing Jared's favorite team. Obviously,
Joe Burrow
with no
less.
Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. So any type of game down there, did the Lions trip over themselves in any way to be an away game, although they had a nice showing in Baltimore, but Baltimore is not Baltimore.
Right.
As you could tell by the Chiefs game.
I don't think they'll have much issue there. And there's so much turmoil trying to figure out who's going to be quarterback for them at the moment. No, the Lions should take care of business nicely, just as the Raiders look to be doing here. As Ian Moran goes for another pass, that one will fall at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, looking for that pitch pass, but you've also got your defense. You got Colin McCormick back there. If you got people yelling ball or can see that that pass is going to happen, if he turns around, that ball was almost 5 yards in front of him before even the receiver. He could have possibly turned around and ran right underneath it.
So the Raiders trying to keep from going 3 and out for the 2nd time here in this game so far. So we get down under the 6.5-minute mark to go in the first half. 3rd and a long 10, short 11 from just south of their own 45.
Mansalona has just scored to go up
Okay.
over in East Jordan.
Just taking the snap, facing more pressure, finds himself throwing this one away over the head of Talon Jacobs and batted around a little bit by an Elk there, Eric. Trey Dennis once again.
Yes, almost one of those passes you'd think he just would have thrown out of bounds because he had trouble in front of him and you had 2 defenders by this receiver. Almost one of those, let's just throw it out of bounds and replay and reset.
So we're going to have Ian Moran punt this one away. Carlisle back there for the Elks, right about the 20.
Yeah, get a nice quick punt here, a line drive punt. The flag on the play, we get somebody on the offensive line to jump.
And
Procedure
another
penalty,
5
it would bring him back 5, yeah. Like I was saying, you know, Carlisle is a big play threat. If you can get him a line drive punt and get a wall set up, may have a chance at a decent return here.
So Ian Moran will be punting this one back behind his own 30. 2 penalties for 10 yards on this drive keeps the Raiders from going anywhere.
Carlisle's got it at the 25. He's going to get around to 35, 40, 45, and run out of bounds. Looks like just short of the 50-yard line, but needless to say, nice run back
Very
like I
nice
thought
return.
so. Got a nice punt, and he's able to run underneath that and not have people in front of him and be able to set up his run. And again, nice return by Carlisle.
And speaking of very nice, we've got Grey Gables. Grey Gables Restaurant and Catering takes pride in featuring a nuanced dining experience in Charlevoix since 1936. A modern twist on an elegant bliss awaits you as you set foot into the Grey Gables located on 308 Belvedere Avenue. And if you want even more, you can ask them about their catering options for a special event such as a grad party, wedding, or family get-together. That's Grey Gables in Charlevoix.
Yeah. Quick trip down Belvedere to Grey Gables. Get yourself a nice meal.
Not too far from where you are. And
Yeah, Flutie right on the handoff. Nice job by the Raiders getting behind the line. Almost as soon as he got it, they were right there wrestling down for a big loss. We'll give him a loss of 8 on that.
Big Andrew Glass there, number 78, one of the tallest members out on the field. Wrapped Flutie up well behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd and Kuwait in here for the Elks. The 39-yard line of their own. That was an old tradition that my former broadcast partner Dennis Halverson and I would have back and forth back in the day, and that's one thing, a little corny thing that I like to carry on every now and then.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Here comes Trammell. Going to pitch it to McCormick on the jet sweep. Going to try to go up the middle, but the Raiders are right there to meet him at the line of scrimmage. Maybe leans forward for a yard.
He had Kalen Tylers, Landon Whistler, and a few others all jam-piling in on that one.
Look for them later on to get some quick motion on there, not just McCormick, but use Flutie on that and almost on a dead sprint. He'll get that ball, and he's quick enough to sometimes get around that edge for a big gain.
Just about 4.5 minutes to go now in the half.
Chandler going to take the snap. He's looking left.
Immediate hit by the Raiders.
Good job by McCormick to hang on to the ball.
And that was a great job by Doug Morgridge. Taking him out right at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 15 here for Elk Rapids to punt away.
Tackled by Doug Morgridge. Brings up 4th down. 15 to go for the Elks.
Elk Rapids look to punt again.
Ian Moran punting for the Elks. Connor Carlisle.
Oh, make sure they got all their personnel. Hopefully the punter, or you got the up man looking to count all the personnel. Make sure you got the right number out there.
Up and away. That one will bounce around, stay in bounds, and held there at the 35. No need for Ian Moran to try and take that one back.
No. You know, Shane?
Yeah. You know, Eric.
It's time to get away to your dream destination.
I don't.
Like many,
doubt
that
it.
means flying into northern Michigan. Whether you're looking to fly in or out of northern Michigan this fall, look to fly, then take to the sky with TVC. Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport is your best gateway to the world, offering services from Allegiant, American, Delta, Sun Country, and United Airlines. Visit tvcairport.com for up-to-the-minute flight schedules and book your next getaway today.
And if you can't find yourself leaving this destination, we'll get to South Point Collision here on the other side of this. Not quite so dreamy scenario for their help, but they're a great company nonetheless.
You got a whole herd Elks in there,
There you go.
bringing them down.
I was waiting
on that one.
Yep, I didn't want to take it.
Yep.
Ian Moran trying to get a couple yards, and he'll get about 1.5 yards. So South Point Collision, it's football season in northern Michigan. You wouldn't know it with 85-degree temperatures we've had today. That also means it's deer season. So if you, a family member, or your son or daughter happen to get a deer, not in the woods, but instead in the middle of the road, then head on into South Point Collision, and they'll take $100 off your auto repair simply by mentioning this ad. South Point Collision wants to keep the fun in football season and keep you on the road during deer season. Bam!
Elk
Right
Rapids
in time.
with a 50 straight defense.
Ian Moran tries to bust his way through the line again. He got through that line like me hitting through a herd of deer, which unfortunately I've hit 3 of them so far in my lifetime.
Hudson Saylor on the tackle for the Elks, 3rd and 5.
Gets to about the 41. Raiders stalled out on their last 2 drives, and they've got a solid 3rd and 5 to convert here to keep this one alive as well. 2.5 to go in the half. Have not scored since the first quarter. 14-0 still.
You know, we talked about in the pregame or when we were just getting started, Elk Rapids does a good job of making adjustments.
Yeah.
And so far, so good. Nice job getting behind the line by the Elks, dropping them for a loss.
Yeah. Got right through there and kept Kalen Titus from going anywhere. In fact, they did lose, about 2 yards there. So it'll be 4th and 7 for the Raiders to punt this one away again with Ian Moran.
And the clock's running now under 2 minutes. Elk Rapids, I think, has their full complement of timeouts, too, obviously hanging on to them until they get possession of the ball and see if Charlevoix will run as much clock down as possible.
Punt for the Raiders. Ian Moran back deep for the Elks. Connor Carlisle.
Carlisle's on 30, and we've got a jump here.
We had moving on both lines, though.
Yeah.
As you see an Elk throwing his hands up, too. So let's see which one they're going to call. They might be inching them forward 5 yards. Yeah, we'll give them encroachment on the defense.
Oh, this sets up an interesting scenario. If I was Charlevoix, you're going to have 4th and a short 3 with only 1.5 minutes left to go in the half. It'll be 4th and 2, actually.
Yeah, and good job, Shane. They're going to think about it as Charlevoix takes a timeout.
I would go for it here, so we'll see what they do on the other side of this timeout. We'll send it to a quick commercial break and be back in about 30.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Hey, Dad. Brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
And welcome back in here. Again, encroachment there from the Elks. The Raiders are going to go for it after the free give of 5 yards. Will be 4th and 2 from their own 43 with a minute and a half to go in the first half. Jess takes it, hand off to Ian Moran. Is he going to be able to somersault over the line? We're going to look.
I think they're going to give him just enough.
Yes, indeed, they do. Wow.
Yeah, that dive and reach forward, was just enough.
Well, I tell you, after Ian Moran went crashing through the line there and broke some furniture, you might have to go see Bartlett's Home Interior, celebrating 75 years of serving Northern Michigan. The best selection of furniture, flooring, and Serta mattresses and Hunter Douglas window treatments have been at Bartlett's. Bartlett's Home Interiors is the name you can trust for all your projects, big or small. See for yourself at their 35,000 square foot showroom in Charlevoix or online at bartlettsHomeInteriors.com. There we are once again. Nice. Jess gets that one off in time to Garrison Steer, and he'll get a solid gain. They're running up the sideline into Elks territory to about their own 47.
Yeah, Carlisle and Turner over there, knock him down. But good job by the Charlevoix coaching staff to think about that after that encroachment penalty and then decide to go for that too. Good decision making.
Yeah. 2nd and a short 2, spotted at the 46.
Almost had to catch Mr. Carey over here before he went down.
Just
faking
this
right,
one
looking
out.
left. Oh, Trey Dennis almost tried to high point that, but knocks incomplete.
There's a good battle between he and Talon Jacobs. Neither one of them were able to get their hands on it, so it'll be 3rd and 2. The clock stops here at 27 seconds to go.
And obviously with what they've been doing, this is 2-down territory. You just, 2 downs to get 2 yards.
Yep. You have to be a quick 2 downs, though.
Yeah, where are we down? 27 seconds left now?
Yep. Third and 2. Raiders trying to make this a 3-score game before the half comes to an end. Jess has all time in the pocket in the world. Lets that one go,
nice.
And it is brought in. Touchdown, Raiders. Carter Greenacre takes that one in unhindered.
Yeah, Colin McCormick tripped just before the ball got there, which opened up the window for the reception. And then once he turned and ran, there was nothing he could do, easily scooting in for the score.
Great play drawn up there by the Raiders with 6 seconds to go in the half. They punch it in.
And again, that doesn't happen unless you get that encroachment penalty there to give them 4th and short, where they end up going for it on the Elk Rapids side of the 50.
Yeah. 46-yard pass completion for the touchdown. Yeah, and Chulis looking to go 3 for 3 on the night. Moran hangs on to it. Up and good by a mile. It'll be a 21-0 game with 6 ticks left on the clock.
Again, we thank you all for watching Next Level Broadcasting tonight. We've got 4 games going as we have 2 of our schools playing each other down here tonight. That's why Shane and I are together. Don't forget to check us out on the Next Level Broadcasting show every Thursday. We start right around 6:30. We like to go over the highlights and talk about the games from the previous week. Bring in some pro sports and maybe see what else we can give some banter about. And then we like to preview what's going on for that week's game. So, again, the Next Level Broadcasting show right around 6:30. And you can always set your alerts to make sure and know when we're getting ready to go live. And then come enjoy the show.
Mm-hmm.
Usual cast of characters in there. I'm usually in there. Jared's in there. Charles. Usually get Shane to show up once in a while.
Yeah, I'll try and make a guest appearance as I fly up from Grand Valley.
Yeah, we get Tom Clemenson from Gaylord St. Mary's come in here and give us some highlights and stuff for once in a while. Great job by him and his media crew getting some beautiful drone footage down at that one Traverse City game too.
And he's you might have seen it throughout our media here the last couple of months, especially before the season began. He went to every one of our 5 schools to film their fields, get some nice aerial shots for some of our pregame intros this year. Another squibber. That one will be fielded right about the 30.
Yeah, Trey Dennis will take that. Get wrapped up short of the 40 and churn his feet for another couple, and he'll be dropped out the 42.
All right.
6 seconds left to go in the half. Time for one play. See if they're looking to just get in the locker room and make adjustments, or see if they want to try to air it out, try to get something out of this.
Yeah, time for one play and one more live read from the Villager Pub. Villager Pub has been a cornerstone in downtown Charlevoix for over 40 years. With their wide-ranging menu and an eclectic atmosphere from a bygone era. It is a perfect place to bring your family, a date, or anyone to relax, unwind, and enjoy a tasty meal cooked and served by their experienced and friendly staff. Visit the Villager Pub today at 427 Bridge Street or visit them online at thevillagerpubcharlevoix.com.
As I see, we've got 11 seconds left. As sharing the booth tonight, thank you, Charlevoix coaching staff, for letting us know that we're just a tick off on that. One play possibly left here. Trammell gets it out to Turner out in the flat. He'll be dropped just as he receives the ball. He might get a gain of a yard or two. And it looks like the clock will stop with just a tick over a second left. Yeah, timeout Elk Rapids. So try to get one more play off.
Go for the good old Hail Mary, maybe.
You know, on the Next Level show yesterday, we talked about the Tigers for a little bit. You know, we weren't sure what we were going to talk about, Shane. As the game was kind of going on at that time.
Yeah, we'll get back to that here. We got to thank our friends at South Point Collision. We'll be back. Eric, take it away.
Yeah, we're back for one more play. Trammell's going to try it out of the gun. He's got almost a spread set up. You got to have the screen on the right to Flutie. Almost try to get a wall set up. Nothing's going to happen. He'll get almost a first down, almost to the 50-yard line, but nothing doing after that. And that will end the first half. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have, I think Shane's got a halftime show set up for us.
Yeah, sponsored by Martin Concrete, Charlevoix Auto, and Bartlett's Home Interiors. We're going to step aside and be back in a few minutes with some of our thoughts from this first half of plays.
Today's game brought to you by Bingham Insurance Services, Charlevoix State Bank, Wilmot Electric, Charlevoix Auto, The Villager Pub, Swanson, K&D, Traverse City, Cherry Capital Airport, Fresh Coast Sliders, Martin Concrete, Charlevoix Ace Hardware, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Sky Media 45, The Lake House, Power Feed of Charlevoix, South Point Collision, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Culver's of Charlevoix, Skydive Charlevoix, BC Pizza, Great Lakes Asphalt Services, Gray Gables, Charlevoix Barber Shop, Professional Seamless Gutters, Spencer Bryan of O'Brien Real Estate, and Ward Marina. We thank you for watching tonight's game.
Hi there, Hannah again with Charlevoix Auto. Don't let summer pass you by. Get into a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram today and make this the summer event. Lease a sleek new Compass for an amazing $339 a month. Elevate your journey in a stylish Grand Cherokee for $429 a month. Or unleash the power of a 4x4 Ram pickup for $459 a month. Don't miss out in getting into your perfect ride for less at Charlevoix Auto on US 31 South near the Charlevoix Airport. Your trusted local dealership.
Are you or someone you know in need of commercial, residential, or marine electrical work? Look no further than Charlevoix's best, Wilmot Electric. Serving our community for 35 years, Wilmot Electric has just what you need to keep you and your family safe year-round with their highly professional team that works hard to find a solution to all of your electrical needs. That's Wilmot Electric. Call them today at 231-547-5583 or visit them online at wilmotelectric.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan. But you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn,
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in
Professional Seamless
1994. Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy, right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
The Villager Pub has been a mainstay in Charlevoix dining culture for over 40 years. Situated right downtown, their friendly and experienced staff will make you feel right at home from the days of a bygone era. With a wide selection on tap and an expansive menu to pick from, sit back and relax in the pub and enjoy their eclectic 1950s era memorabilia. Stop in and see them today at 427 Bridge Street or visit them online to look at their menu at thevillagerpub.com. Are you or someone you know in need of commercial, residential, or marine electrical work? Look no further than Charlevoix's best, Wilmot Electric. Serving our community for 35 years, Wilmot Electric has just what you need to keep you and your family safe year-round with their highly professional team that works hard to find a solution to all of your electrical needs. That's Wilmot Electric. Call them today at 231-547-5583 or visit them online at wilmotelectric.com.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Located in Charlevoix, Michigan, is Martin Concrete, where they specialize in residential concrete construction, providing high-quality concrete work and guaranteeing customer satisfaction. They're proud to serve Charlevoix and the surrounding areas. No job is too big or too small for Martin Concrete, with services ranging from concrete slabs, footings, driveways, retaining walls, and much more. There's nothing that Martin Concrete can't do regarding concrete. That's Martin Concrete, online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com or give them a call at 231-838-9610.
Bartlett's Home Interiors is your hometown home furnishing store, serving northern Michigan since 1950. Your perfect fit is waiting for you here. Among our large selection of furniture, flooring, Serta mattresses, and Hunter Douglas window treatments, our experienced staff can help with the details that are important to you to transform your space. Come explore our 35,000 square foot showroom today or visit us at bartlettshomeinteriors.com. Bartlett's Home Interiors, where you're always at home. M66 North, Charlevoix.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, huge selection of colors, plus Ace's award-winning service, you can be confident you're getting the best. Then buy in store or online for curbside pickup or free delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their paint.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
All right, guys, here's what we get.
BC Pizza, BC Pizza, hometown handmade gourmet.
Coach, what do we do? We get BC Pizza.
BC Pizza, BC Pizza.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy, right here in your neck of the woods, with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
The Villager Pub has been a mainstay in Charlevoix dining culture for over 40 years. Situated right downtown, their friendly and experienced staff will make you feel right at home from the days of a bygone era. With a wide selection on tap and an expansive menu to pick from, sit back and relax in the pub and enjoy their eclectic 1950s era memorabilia. Stop in and see them today at 427 Bridge Street or visit them online to look at their menu at thevillagerpub.com.
Have you ever wanted to try skydiving? This is Luther from Skydive Charlevoix. We specialize in first-time tandem skydiving and offer the best views in the entire Midwest. Jump from up to 2 miles high and free fall as fast as 120 miles per hour. Then, when the parachute opens, you can enjoy a peaceful canopy ride back to the landing area. Skydive Charlevoix also offers a scenic flight with every tandem jump. Enjoy an amazing bird's-eye view of Grand Traverse Bay, Little Traverse Bay, Beaver Island, and the entire northern Michigan shoreline. It's easy to book your jump online at skydivecharlevoix.com. That's skydivecharlevoix.com.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into our Martin Concrete, Charlevoix Auto, and Bartlett's Home Interior halftime show. Shane Smith, Eric Huffman, Emma Brown, Burr Ari, and of course our wonderful cameraman, Ryan Bentley, down there. The 5 of us bringing to you tonight a combined broadcast between Charlevoix and Elk Rapids. Eric, Charlevoix's kind of taken the cake so far in the first half on this one, going up 21-0. So we'll talk about that. But also you had some Tiger talk as well you wanted to bring up.
Well, no, we were just talking about that era before we got to halftime, too. Just talking during the next level broadcast show, getting into the Tigers, and we weren't sure what we were going to be talking about, whether it was them losing that or pulling out a victory and moving on to play Big Dumper in the Mariners. So, and I know you're a big fan of the Tigers, and you like it when we talk about the Tigers. So give me your quick 2 cents about what do you think about, did they deserve to win this series and move on? Was it one of those with the way the second half's gone? Let's see, this is the first, let's see what, they lost 5 or 6 series before finally winning this one.
Yeah.
So give me your take on the Tigers right now.
Oh, Eric, you framed it up in not a fond way for me. Do they deserve things? I don't know, because, God, that second half was it was historical.
That's Mr. Jess, I think they deserve it or not.
Yeah, he could. Mr. Jess, do you think the Tigers deserve to win the ALDS round against Seattle? We were just wondering if you think the Tigers deserve to win that ALDS round against Seattle.
Go Tigers. Right. He's a Tiger all the way. That's right. He was there for the Bless You boys. Come on.
Oh, yeah. And it's tough because there was a part of me that didn't even want them to make the playoffs, because then something had to change, especially if we go into the offseason and, of course, the deadline next year. We got to get some better players around our midst. But at the same time, they showed up when they needed to most. They finally got a couple of quality wins here against Cleveland, which we figured they probably would. You can't lose 3-4 straight series at Cleveland like that. And we've had historical success against Seattle here in recent years. So we'll have to, I at this point, I'm like, yes, let's get in there, get what we need, get that win. Hopefully Scoobel can start on the first, and if it gets to that point, the 5th game, so we have maybe 2 wins in the bag there. And if the Tigers continue how their bats were last night, then that's a great step towards that win as well, because that's something that's also died off the entire
just the
second
inconsistencies
half of the season.
After the All-Star break was just amazing. I mean, I had first half Casey Mize and first half Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter on my fantasy team.
Sure.
And first half those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had a 2-3 game lead in the league. So second half those guys, I ended up finishing 3rd place in the league. So so there's my take on your Tiger season so far, as we're now under 2 minutes for a 3-minute warm up here to finish off halftime and talk about the first half of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of the usual attack that we've seen from the Raiders so far, pounding the ground for the most part between Ian Moran, and occasionally you'll see Garrison Starrett taking one up. But otherwise, there's been some excellent passes. It's been few and far between, but when he's needed those passes, he's dialed them in well, especially towards Carter Greenacre. Had a couple of good looks at Talon Jacobs, just overthrew him a little bit. But otherwise, it's just been a consistent pounding of the ball, especially in that first quarter. Up until the final 2 minutes of that second quarter, the Raiders were kind of stalling out there on a couple of drives, had a couple of big penalties. Elk Rapids was standing strong there, buried Charlevoix deep in their own half of the field. But then they finally came out, had a great 46-yard connection between Colin Jess and Carter Greenacre to get that 3rd touchdown of the half, Eric. So Elk Rapids, you said they're a team to make some adjustments, and they have. They certainly kept Raiders quiet for majority of that second quarter, but still it's a 3-score game that they're going to have to try and surmount.
Yeah, and like you said, towards the latter part of that second period, Elk Rapids had started making adjustments and holding them. I think it was 2 or 3 punts, I think, in a row that you held Charlevoix to. But then you give up an encroachment penalty on a 4th and say 7.
Yeah.
And then Charlevoix elects to go for it, get the first down, and then they end up getting that 3rd score to put them up 21-0. So your defense, although it's 21-0, has done some things. Obviously, it still is not enough as you're down 21 points. And the offense showing some flashes of greatness, but yet not enough to put a sustained drive together and put a score on board.
So we'll have to see. Elk Rapids, again, down 3 touchdowns. Can they make enough adjustments to stem the flow, as we see a number 21 on the Elks there right in front of us, and that's the score that the Raiders have. It's Jake Moore. Or if the Raiders are going to keep doing their thing, punting the ball down the field with Ian Moran especially, and get another shutout. They pitched a shutout here. Speaking of Tigers baseball, I pitched a shutout just last week to Benzie, 42-zip. And they're halfway to doing that again here tonight, so we'll see how things go.
Yeah, I'd like to see Elk Rapids get into more of their spread offense, get to your bubble screens and your jet sweeps. Use your speed. You do have some speedy players down there, and you do have some able-handed players down there. If you can get a little bit of time behind the line of scrimmage, maybe you can set up one of your long passes that you are able to connect with as well. But again, let's use Flutie a little bit more with the jet sweeps and get mix in some Colin McCormick and get some Brody Turner going up the middle. But mix it up a little bit more and see if you can't maybe hit a deep threat for one and maybe get Charlevoix to start thinking a little bit.
All right. Well, speaking of thinking, Elk Rapids is going to have to think quickly here as they're going to have the ball to begin this second half. What a statement they could make if they could drive this one down and get the score to open things up.
Yeah, we'll know right away if there's any adjustments made to see if Elk Rapids can't hold them to a 3-0.
So Talon Jacobs here going to kick this one off for the Raiders. His family, neighbors of mine, just a few doors down. And good old live drive squigger.
Trey Dennis going to get about 30-yard line. Slide down, slippery turf's going to take him down right about the 40.
Grayson Warchall didn't have to put more in a hand on him. He was already on his way.
1st and 10 Elk Rapids. Let's see what Ollie Trammell and the boys have in store for the second half.
All right. On this very warm early October evening. Still north of 75 degrees.
Yeah, man. Well, I know in the booth it's well north of 75.
Yeah. As the Elks are trying to go south here on the field and get the ball in the end zone.
Under center on 1st down. Trammell going to hand off to Flutie. Thought about the left side. He's going to inch his way in. Inside the edge, he'll get at least 5 yards before he's met by a host of Raiders and drop down.
You know, I didn't even have to see who the first man was who made contact against the Elks there because his frame stood head and shoulders above everybody else. That was Andrew Glass down there. Got the stop and probably credited with the ultimate tackle there, keeping the Elks from not advancing more than 5 yards.
Yeah, but a nice 5-yard gain there, leaving 2nd and 5.
It was. It was a good start for them, a nice solid movement of 5 down the field to begin this second half, something that they kind of need to build momentum upon.
Elks will flank Henry Veith out to the left this play. Trammell again under center. Flutie again on the run. He'll try the right side this time. No gain on the play. Met right there where he dropped for no gain.
Yeah. Couple of big tackles from big number 75 down there on the field as he saunters his way back to the ER logo. This will be 3rd and 5 once again for the Elks.
Be curious to see if they'll spread them out this play. As pretty much this possession's been pretty much set up to just the one receiver and stack everybody in.
Yeah.
Almost like 2 tight ends. Trammell fake both handoffs. Almost tried to elude one tackler to get a pass off, but nothing doing. He's going to be dropped for a loss of 5 on the play.
Peter Yanchulis shot through that line. I could not believe the speed there and wrapped him up before he had a chance to look both ways.
Yeah, Trammell moved his shoulders to see if the defender would kind of go by and lose his grip, but nothing doing. He held on tightly and was able to bring him down.
This will be 4th and 9 here for the Elks. We got Lyle Monroe watching this awesome game with my cat Tinker. Very nice. Thank you, Lyle.
Nice. Love it. Cats watching TV.
Your cats do the same, Eric.
Yeah, they do. So the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. A little miscue on snap there, but Carlisle's still going to get it off. It drops at the 24-yard line. Going to rumble and end up out of bounds at the 29-yard line. There we go. I had my yardage there mixed up a little bit. 29-yard line, 1st and 10.
Nice punt, though. Very respectable, getting the Raiders inside the 30. For their 71-yard march northward up the field, back towards home for them.
You think Michigan, Nebraska has any type of game this weekend?
No.
I don't think,
really.
or not Nebraska, Michigan, Wisconsin, my bad.
No, Wisconsin, if it was 5 years ago, I would
I was going to say, Wisconsin's
absolutely.
not really what Wisconsin
No.
was, yeah.
No.
You know, gone on the days of Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Wisconsin, I remember them when I was young. They were right up there with Michigan and Ohio State every year. Now they've kind of fallen off a little bit.
Flutie tried to time his run up the hole.
That would be Ian Moran there, getting a few at most.
Colin Shockley in on that tackle.
It looks to be a gain of a short 3 here, so second and long 7.
Third quarter at Boswell Stadium, Mansalona leading East Jordan 12-8.
Boy, good close game there.
Yeah. East Jordan played in a lot of close games this year.
They could very easily be undefeated.
Yes, they
by
could.
just a
Yes,
couple
they
of scores. And that'll be another handoff up the gut we go.
And we've seen that before. We, as I'm talking about the Elk Rapids defense,
sure.
A lot of times when Elk Rapids would plug the box, teams, and I'll use the Kalkaska game as an example, would all of a sudden go to the spread to get the open up that box and still run up the middle, kind of like Charlevoix just did.
So gain of about 3 there, 2.5. So third and about 4 coming up now for the Raiders, right at their own 35. Well, the number of third down conversions they've had to try and make so far this game, more than we've seen since probably week 1 against Unionville-Sebewaing. And this time a handoff to Garrison Starrett. He's gotten up for the first down as he sits right on the 40-yard line.
Brody Turner wrangling him down, but not enough. Yep. Move the sticks.
And while we have a moment, speaking of moving, you're going to move around in the air quite a bit with Skydive Charlevoix. Skydive Charlevoix is calling all thrill seekers, adventure enthusiasts, and everyone in between to think Skydive Charlevoix for your next adventure. Take flight with them and experience for yourself the rush of skydiving right in your own backyard. Check out their website for more information at skydivecharlevoix.com.
You know, Mansalona must have been upset after that loss here last week, as they have just gone up 20-8 over East Jordan.
Okay. Looking forward to that game, homecoming game here for the Raiders at home next week. As Mr. Moran gets a couple there before he's wrapped up by a number of Elks. They really locked horns on him there.
Hudson Saylor wrapped him up there, brought him down.
Give him short 3. So it'll be second and 7, right about the Raider 43. Just under 7.5 to go in the third.
So you're moving on. You got Michigan State, I mentioned earlier, going to Nebraska to take on Mr. Mahomes Jr.
I would say if Michigan State doesn't win that game, it'd be tough for them to get past 5 and 7 the rest of this year.
Yeah, I've got them pegged for maybe 6 wins this year.
Okay. Well, the Raiders are looking to get their 6th win right now, but Colin Jess.
Yeah, nice job by Saylor holding up the quarterback, and then his buddies came and finished him off.
So he'll lose a few. Pushed back just behind the original line of scrimmage by about a foot. It's be third and a long 10 coming up for the Raiders, back just south of their 40. Colin Jess has faced a lot of pressure so far in this game. More so than we've seen in the last several weeks. Credit to the Elk Rapids defense here. Student section getting a little more boisterous.
Elk Rapids trusting their man-to-man.
Yeah. Quick
set up the screen on the right. Flutie tried to get through, but nothing doing. He got a first down and more.
There we go. Ian Moran up to the 40. Needed 10, got about 20.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Good setup by the Raider blockers as Braden Flutie was up there. Almost got to him. They had a block in the way.
Yeah. Charlevoix Auto. Charlevoix wants everyone tuning in to know that they are your local trusted Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Moke dealer. Drive with confidence to Charlevoix Auto, your one-stop shop for exceptional sales and service. One more to go and I'm done.
Nice.
Right at the Elk Rapids 40, the Raiders go. Jess airing this one out. Cut just by the fingertips. Kalen Titus wrangles that one in. Oh, my goodness. Down to the 5.
Right there on the fingertips. Yeah, and you got Veith fall on him for the subsequent tackle.
Gosh.
But
all the air went out of this press box for a second. I thought the refs were about to call that incomplete somehow. I'm like, oh, no, what a great call.
What a great haul in.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job. 35-yard completion there.
So this opens up a lot of things, you know, especially with how the Raiders at times will set up and let's start dealing cards back there. You don't know who's going to end up with the ball with the way they like to run.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. Here we go. Why not give it to Ian Moran, and he powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown, number 4 of the night for Charlevoix.
Yeah, not much you could do right there. Good job by the offensive line making that hole and just lowering his head and bowling his way right through.
Once you get Ian Moran going and head forward, there's not much you can do to stop him.
Yeah, especially in the open field, too, like a blur. I talk about Elk Rapids speed. Charlevoix's got some really nice speedy players as well.
Ian Moran's powerful. He's quick there within a 10-yard gap, and sometimes he can be caught up on those long runs. But the real speed, you've got Garrison Sterrett and Kalen Titus really can shoot through about anything. And that one will be good, just barely. I thought that was going to bounce off the bottom crossbar, but we are all set there to go up 28-0. And we're going to step away for a quick commercial and come back in.
Hi there, Hannah again with Charlevoix Auto. Don't let summer pass you by. Get into a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram today and make this the summer event. Lease a sleek new Compass for an amazing $339 a month. Elevate your journey in a stylish Grand Cherokee for $429 a month. Or unleash the power of a 4x4 Ram pickup for $459 a month. Don't miss out on getting into your perfect ride for less at Charlevoix Auto on US 31 South near the Charlevoix Airport. Your trusted local dealership.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown cherry capital airport, TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Rapids sponsors. Yeah, and welcome back in. Talon Jacobs going for the mile-long boot all the way down to the 5. Wow.
Yeah, Braden Flee going to let it go out of the end zone.
Nice to see the Raiders air one out every once in a while. So that'll allow the Elks to set up shop right there at their 20.
Apologize, I'm taking care of some store work at the same time while we're in between plays.
Again, Eric, owner and manager of the Lake House downtown. Fine establishment for all your home decor needs.
Yeah, man. Getting ready for Apple Fest coming up soon. What a great time downtown.
I can't wait for Apple Fest, man. That's my favorite time of the year. The last hurrah for town, but also just nice, cool weather. You get to bring out the fall wear. The leaves are changing. The air is fresh and crisp, just as crisp as those Honeycrisp apples that are sold all over the place.
One of the biggest weekends of the year in Charlevoix.
Good stuff. Anywho, back to football. Bless you, Emma.
Pistol formation this time for Trammell. He's going to pitch it out. He's got Flutie. Met right there at the line of scrimmage. Bounces off one defender, and he'll lunge forward for a gain. We'll give him 3 yards.
I'm amazed he survived the attack of Andrew Glass. Yeah, jeez. But, hey, you gained 3 after that initial contact, so it'll be a win in the Elks book, that's for sure.
So right now, 28-0. You just let's see if we can't sustain something and get something out of a drive. You know, you're looking like probably not in the cards to win this game tonight. So what can we do to improve ourselves, get ready, have a good performance between now and the end of this game, and start building our way towards the next one?
Yeah, never give up. You always fight to the bitter end. And hey, if you can get a touchdown or 2 here still to finish out this game, that's a big win against a team like Charlevoix and something you can, again, build momentum on going into the future.
Trammell's got trips to the left. Low snap. He still hangs on to it. He's looking to pass. He's got McCormick. Oh, he had McCormick. McCormick hauls that in. He may be gone as there was nobody over here to get in his way.
Too. That was a great pass right on the numbers. Just could not hang it in there. Went through his fingertips. Trammell, I've seen some really good flashes of QB athleticism, especially since he's a sophomore. Just some of those pieces around him. We saw McCormick there just not able to hang on to a overall pretty decent pass through traffic there.
Yes, and he's been learning this kind of, I'll say, as the season's been going on. He wasn't the original starting quarterback to start the season.
Yeah.
So as they influx him into the starting role, he's been picking this up and improving every game that I've seen. Trammell thrown in the traffic.
Yeah.
Then wasn't sure if that was for Flutie and McCormick. Looked like a meeting of the minds, possibly. Flutie's going to collect his thoughts for a second.
You needed that after he crashed into Colin
Yeah.
Jess in midair. That'll get the air knocked out of you.
Needless to say, it'll be 4th down. I think Elk Rapids will be looking to punt from their current position.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty safe bet.
Carlisle will be back to punt for Elk Rapids. Just over 4 minutes to go in the third.
And here's a flag.
We got too many men.
Yeah, legal substitution there.
Yeah, we're all up here counting heads. Looked like they had one extra one out there. Another decent punt by Carlisle.
Yeah, right down to the 50 we go. Picked up by Ian Moran, evades one tackle, and another, and a couple more, and finally gets pushed out about the 35. Not bad field position for Charlevoix to start things off.
Kawhi West for Elk Rapids, running them out of bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice run back, nice short field for the Raiders. Yeah, it's starting out 1st and 10.
14.5-yard return there. Yeah, they'll mark it right at the 35 square, so it'll be a 15-yard return for Mr. Moran. Kind of the do-it-all player for the Raiders so far. So here we go. Only one receiver to the top and bottom of your screen so far. Charlevoix content to likely just run this one. And that will be the handoff course to Moran. Powers forward when you can get 7 yards like that in one shot right on 1st down.
Yeah,
no problem.
Getting some easy chunk plays now. Colin Shockley,
Well, I guess
first Elk in on that tackle.
Yes, I'll mark it 5.
Short 6. That'll help you out a little bit.
Sure.
No.
Thanks, Eric.
Hey, buddy, I've missed you.
I missed you too. We did like close to 24 basketball games together, then Charles breaks up the band.
Yes, we did. Yeah, I know, right?
Little encore performance for the two of us.
And it feels so good.
There you go. Eric Huffman singing Tuesday nights down in East Park.
That's a negative Ghost Rider.
Pattern full on that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 3rd and 3 for the Raiders, down to about their 27 of Elk Rapids. 28, rather.
Yeah, it'd be good for Elk Rapids. See if you can't get them a stop here. Obviously, 2-down territory, you think they'll go for it. If they don't get it here, but it'd be a nice feather in the cap. You can stop them on 2 downs here.
Going to go in shotgun. Ian Moran takes it, finds a hole,
Nice
busts his
sidestep
way
there.
through it. Can he evade the last tackler? Yes, he can. Touchdown, number 5.
Yeah, Trey Dennis, he got there the last minute trying to wrap him up, stop short of the goal line, but nice run by Ian Moran. He seems to be able to sidestep and turn those legs, not quite like Roger Craig getting the high knees, but still working those legs enough to get through those tacklers and score.
Peter Yanchulis looking to go 5 for 5 here tonight. That last one just barely made it over the crossbar. Might have been a little miscue.
Yeah, we were talking about loft wedges earlier. That one was definitely a loft wedge because that thing just died and went down.
Ooh.
Is it partially blocked?
And that'll be no good. 80% on the night for him. And we're going to step aside for another commercial break and come back on the other side of this. Stay tuned.
Bartlett's Home Interiors is your hometown home furnishing store, serving Northern Michigan since 1950. Your perfect fit is waiting for you here. Among our large selection of furniture, flooring, Serta mattresses, and Hunter Douglas window treatments, our experienced staff can help with the details that are important to you to transform your space. Come explore our 35,000 square foot showroom today or visit us at bartlettsHomeInteriors.com. Bartlett's Home Interiors, where you're always at home. M66 North, Charlevoix.
Your next stop for flavor, freshness, and fun is Gray Gables Restaurant. Since 1936, we've been serving up delicious gourmet dishes and drinks in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Everything is made using fresh ingredients, including locally sourced meat and fish. Our bar features several local Michigan.
And here we are, Charlevoix, a line drive back to the 5.
Flutie thankfully lets that go by. I worried that he was going to touch that here for a second.
Man, he needed a nice big glove. Get a hold of that one. That was screaming out into shallow center field.
So while we got a second again, I'll remind you once again about our Next Level broadcasting show that goes on every Thursday.
Yeah.
Starts about 6:30. We always talk about the previous week's high school games, mix in some college football, maybe some other sports, some NFL. We had Tiger Talk. Maybe we were going to talk about Ryder Cup this last week. We just didn't have time for it. But it starts about 6:30, and we always preview that week's games as well. So again, the Next Level broadcasting show every Thursday evening about 6:30. Braden Flutie on a run. He tries the left side for a couple. Sure, a little shaken there, waiting to get up. Andrew Glass once again on that tackle.
There's a couple of plays now. He's been slow to get up. Had a couple of hard hits. First from Colin Jess midair. Now Andrew Glass, and he's going to work his way off the field. A little hitch in his get along. But thankfully he's able to jog it off. To an extent. No doubt he's under some pain right now.
Well, he's been putting in some hard work.
Yeah.
And you know what that means for me.
All right.
He's been putting in some hard work, so we're going to go ahead and award Braden Flutie the Mid-Lake Builders hardest working player of the game.
I think he's pretty deserving of that.
Get yourself checked out there, young man. Get yourself some fluids. Maybe get back out there. But good job on both sides of the ball. Hand off to McCormick. He's going to get the first down on Lunch Forward for a couple more. Run out of bounds.
By Doug
About 32-yard line. Nice job. First and 10 Elks.
Yeah. Raiders still with all their starters out there at the moment, up 34-0.
Still have
15 to go in the third.
And we still have one more award to give. We'll give it sometime in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Player of the game, rewarded by Pearl's New Orleans Kitchen, providing a $10 gift card off that winner's next meal at Pearl's. I got to get myself down to Pearl's.
I know. I was there last year once. Got to get back there again sometime. Good food as always.
Here come the Elks on third down. McCormick was trying to find a hole, but that's what happens when you stand behind the line too long. You get a host of defense coming back here to knock you down for a loss, so it'll be fourth down.
Cannon Titus, Sawyer Blazik, and maybe even Andrew Glass had a little piece of action there, too, the three of them handling business.
And the route is on in East Jordan. Barcelona Ironmen up 28-8 over the Red Devils. 8 minutes to go in the fourth there.
All right.
And you keep talking about Mancelona's got an interesting matchup coming up next week, correct?
Yeah, we've been kind of talking about it. That's going to be Charlevoix's real, at least how we kind of see it, first test here going into the final 3 games of the season. Charlevoix's been able to handle business pretty easily so far. They loaded up for bear the last 3 games before going into the postseason play.
Low kick by Carlisle.
Yeah.
Fielded at the 43.
Starrett takes it past midfield. Down to about the 43. He'll go.
From one to the other.
Yep. And we're going to take a moment to thank our final live read sponsor tonight, Wilmot Electric. Since 1983, Wilmot Electric Incorporated has been a gold standard service provider throughout northern Michigan, offering solutions to any electrical need you may have, whether it's residential, commercial, or marine related. No matter the case, Wilmot Electric has experts that will keep your projects on time and on budget. Customer focused and community driven for 40 years. That's Wilmot Electric of Charlevoix. And that'll take us into our fourth quarter break. We'll have a couple more commercials for you and be back in about 60 seconds.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your northern Michigan connection.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Coming back into this one, Raiders take over from the Elks 43 after the kickoff return. As we get into the final 12 minutes of this game. Raiders just missed the extra point there by Peter Yanchulis a little bit earlier, else we would have a running clock here currently as they are up just short of that 35-point mark as Colin Jess hangs on to it for his own. Gets down about the 36 or so. See where they officially mark it.
Henry Veith on that tackle.
Yep. 37, so it'll be a gain of 7. Second and a long 3.
Titus Sperry checking in for the Elks on defense. Give Zach Cadwell a rest. Zach Cadwell called his name a few times tonight.
Yeah.
Give that man a breather for a second.
These Elks, you can tell they play hard down there. They've been giving it their all. The Raiders just been able to come out on top so far, but
and regardless of the score, I have not seen an Elks team mail anything in yet. So,
oof, a lot of crashing and banging down there. Mr. Warchall piles one through just short of the line of gain. Third and about a foot.
We'll give Austin Ton a call on that tackle.
All right. Fair enough to me.
Is that third and an index card?
Yeah, it might be about a subway foot long. Or hey, a third and one of those good brats you had earlier provided to us by the Elk Rapids. Fine folks down there at the concession stands providing us some food up here. Very appreciative of all that they do for us at Next Level Broadcasting.
Yeah, the Elk Rapids staff, they are great. They always take care of us.
I will say the 5 schools we cover, it's between Elk Rapids and St. Francis for the schools that do the most for us at Next Level. So we're very appreciative of all that they do.
Yeah, I always tell them when I come down here, you know, great facilities, great people, and for doing a show, great internet.
Yeah, we were able to plug it into their hardwired internet here, and we were running over 500 meg upload speed, which for broadcasting talk is phenomenal, as Gratian Warchall gets another 5 yards or so there.
Wrapped up by Brody Turner. Another tackle for that young man. And again, Brody Turner, just a sophomore, logging in good minutes on both sides of the ball now.
It won't be quite 5. It'll be more like 3.5 or so. Right there, spotted at the 30. Clock winding down to about 10 minutes to go in the game. Raiders looking to make one more score and pack up and head out of here after another good, strong defensive front.
Yeah.
Okay, that one will be tipped just a little bit, but able to be brought in by Isaac Benson. He'll gain a few there.
Turner in another tackle. Nice tackle by Brody Turner. Yeah, it takes us, what, a half hour, 35 minutes, so to get home from here?
The third and short 4 coming up. And again, in 2 weeks, we're going to be facing Boyne City.
Ooh.
And they lost a close one down there at St. Francis, so that'll be a fun game in 2 weeks. Boyne City will be coming home. And, boy, I tell you, Mr. Warchall looked like he was going home to the end zone.
Almost
but
looked
got
like
tripped
barely,
up at
yeah.
the last second, yeah.
Trying to get a look at some of the interesting games we've got coming up next week now, too. Because we've got Traverse City St. Francis. That is a big one with Notre Dame, Pontiac Notre Dame Prep. And their schedule is nothing but a gauntlet. These Elks will take on Tawas next week.
All right. 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. Warchall filling in for Ian Moran now. Able to gain a couple against the quickly closing Elks line.
Yep. Turner, Flutie, Sailor.
Yeah.
3 men in on that tackle.
Yeah, 2, 2nd and 8, just inside the Elks 20-yard line. Time and the energy kind of winding down here as we get into the waning parts of this game, that's for sure. Another handoff to Warchall. Get a few. Not quite enough for that first down, a couple yards short.
Yeah, and they seem content. You know, nothing fancy. Let's just run the ball and get people to work on some things, get some twos in there possibly, get some time in, and work on some things as well.
Sure. And 3rd and 5, I'd imagine 2 down territory. But if there was still a sizable distance to get that 4th down, hey, you might throw Peter Yanchulis out there and see if he can get a field goal. And he's done that once before this season.
And again, if it's something you think you might need down the road with a 34-0 lead, why not try it out in live action?
Exactly. You know, practice is always good in a real game scenario like this. Because, hey, down at the 15-yard line, Yanchulis certainly has the power for it. Could be the difference of a game. But they'll sub Ian Moran back in to get that first down or close. Yep, there's enough to move the sticks.
Yep, inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal. They just have not been able to take Moran at the point of contact and able to stop his momentum or bring him down. It's always been that 2nd or 3rd
or even
line
sometimes.
or person that's got to come in and wrestle him.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, just saw Brady Jess had media day here the other day with the Spartans. Got all of his good pictures there. Of course, Division I wrestling. Proud of that young man and his accomplishments. And his younger brother, Colin, doing a fine job under center here for the Raiders so far in his sophomore year. Warchall got another handoff, but it got wrapped up pretty much.
Yeah, nice job by the Elks getting there. Austin Ton in on another tackle. Nice job by him.
So remain.
Well, short loss on that play.
Yeah, 2nd and goal from right about the 10, even. 6:14 to go in the game.
Yeah, if you're looking for any moral victories, obviously stopping them short of the goal line here. 2nd goal, something to build on for Elk Rapids.
Hey, there's a hole for Warchall. Powers through. And there's touchdown number 6 for the Raiders.
Yeah, he lowered his head on White Schaub and then was able to bounce off of him and just strolled in for the score.
There was a hole wide enough. My Yukon could have fit through it there at the end as he worked his way into the end zone. And with that, Eric, I think that pretty much sums up my vote for Charlevoix. Culver's Concrete Mixer Player of the Game award, that will go to Mr. Ian Moran.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, we'll give it to Bob Just too, an honorary
the film
winner.
crew, absolutely.
Yeah.
How can they prepare if you don't have good footage, man?
That's right, yeah. Well, they've got our broadcast if nothing else, but there, Chulis knocks one up and through. Especially if you have a good cameraman like Ryan Bentley. He doesn't let anything go by.
You know, Shane, while we've got a second and you're handing out awards, I'll
Sure.
go ahead and get mine out of the way, too. Come to Pearls and experience the taste of Louisiana right in the heart of northern Michigan. And they're also a proud sponsor of the Player of the Game this year, providing a $10 off gift card that player's next meal at Pearls. And granted, there's no score on the board, but I've called his name quite a bit tonight, and I mentioned it to you, and I saw you nod your head.
Yeah.
And so Pearls Player of the Game for this week is going to go to Colin McCormick.
All right.
Nice job by him.
And
Sophomore Colin McCormick.
Very nice. And while you have a moment here, we want to give a shout out to one of our new sponsors tonight. Another shout out for them, Edge Attractants. Make the most of your time in the great outdoors this fall with Power Feed from Edge Attractants. That's Edge Attractants located right in Ironton or on Facebook. Give yourself the edge this fall with Power Feed from Edge Attractants.
It would have been a no-brainer for McCormick. A couple of those passes there hit him in the hands. He might have had one, if not two, scores tonight. But again, putting in some good minutes and good work. So again, congrats to Colin McCormick, player of the game.
So on the other side of this kickoff, that will ensue the running clock scenario for the final 5.5 minutes of this game. Another boot.
Flutie going to run up on it.
Yeah.
Right, 10-handed line, and he does hand it off to Carlisle. Carlisle's got a head of steam, and he's got a mini wall set up. He's got two men to beat. He gets through one, dives forward, gets past the 50-yard line where he'll end up at the 43 of Charlevoix to set up the Elks 1st and 10. Nice setup by the Elks.
Yeah, there's something for the Elks to cheer about. What a great return there and good blocking from his frontmen there, getting all the way down into Raider territory. By far the biggest singular play that Elk Rapids has had tonight.
And you pretty much have called out Carlisle and Flutie, kind of your main cogs in the Elk Rapids wheel, trying to get the ball down the field. Haven't gotten the passing game together tonight, but you never know if you can get something together on this drive before time runs out. We've got under 5 minutes to go now. And granted, this game is over, but maybe a little sense of urgency for Elk Rapids to possibly work on a 4-minute game.
Yeah,
4-minute possession.
And keep them from getting
Trammell
shut
gets
out.
it swung out. Oh, nice spin move. Gets through two Raider defenders and gets a few more yards off of that. Nice receiving catch by Percy Pitawanakwat.
There you go. And finally brought down there by Landon Whistler. If it wasn't for Whistler, he might have had a bit of a house call to make there. He was getting close to some wide open grass, that's for sure.
Always love it when I get a chance to say Pitawanakwat.
Yeah. And I believe it's his dad that you've had on the call with you a few times this year.
Yes, sir. Nice fake to throw by Trammell. He's got Jake Moore, and we'll get a pass interference play as the defender just pretty much run up and put a shoulder into him. We got Mr. Justo here shaking his head going, what is he doing with it? And officially we get the pass interference call. We'll get him, we'll march the ball up, give him first down, and with some time left, a chance to get a score on the board.
Yeah. 4 minutes and 1 second to go. Trying to figure out where we're going back and forth here.
Well, they're figuring out the starting point of the walk-off. There we go. All right, yeah, no, we've got it.
Ooh. Raiders are going to have to dig into their bag of tricks a little bit here as the Elks work their way, I think, the closest to Raiders' end zone that they've been so far tonight.
Trips to the left. Sorry, I walked on you there.
No, you're good.
Trammell out of the gun. He's going to elude to keep it down. He's going to run. Dives forward inside the 20-yard line. We'll mark him about the 18. It looks like we may get an injured player. That was a timeout. Looks like an injured player.
All right, well, while he's injured, we hope for the best for him. We are going to step away, come back on the other side of this.
Hey, Dad. Brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You worked so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
Located in Charlevoix, Michigan, is Martin Concrete, where they specialize in residential concrete construction, providing high-quality concrete work and guaranteeing customer satisfaction. They're proud to serve Charlevoix and the surrounding areas. No job is too big or too small for Martin Concrete, with services ranging from concrete slabs, footings, driveways, retaining walls, and much more. There's nothing that Martin Concrete can't do regarding concrete. That's Martin Concrete, online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com, or give them a call at 231-838-9610.
Yeah, and welcome back in. We've got a special shout-out to make here as we get towards the end of the game. Colin Jess's Aunt Denise is watching down in Atlanta, enjoying the game tonight. Thank you very much. Denise, Eric, go ahead.
We love it when people check in. Oh, a nice pass from Trammell into the end zone. Looks like Connor Carlisle. They're going to give it to him. I don't see a signal. I thought he'd gotten into the end zone.
Yeah.
I must have missed the hands going up, but it is a touchdown, Elk Rapids. Nice pitch and catch. They give him 6 points, 3:23 left to go in the game. Wondering to see, because they will go for 2 or kick the extra point. They can do both. Looks like they will try for a 2-point conversion. Trammell's got Flutie behind them. We're going to get an offsides on the defense possibly with an offensive player in motion. Got him to jump. So we'll inch the ball forward a little bit, and we'll try her again.
Try again, indeed. And if they do get the extra point, or in this case 2 points, it'll be enough to stop that running clock. And things will continue as normal for the final 3:23 of this game, barring another Raiders score. So I'll take this one over at the 1-yard line to try and punch it in.
Elks will set up with the spread this time. Flutie in the backfield along with Trammell. Gets it out and complete for the 2-point conversion.
Hey, there's something that the Elks can hang their hats on tonight, that's for sure.
So with a little help from the Raider
PI
defense
call.
still. Good drive by the Elks to get some points on the board. 3:23 left to go, 41-8 Raiders over the Elks. And good reception by, who was at it? Percy Pitawanaquat.
Yeah. All right. So the Raiders will be receiving here. 41-8. Stops the clock. 3:23 to go.
Yeah, Trammell threw that ball about right where it needed to be.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Jake Moore set up to kick off for Elk Rapids. Again, those of you watching us on Next Level Broadcasting, don't forget, you can go to nextlevelbroadcasting.net and watch all of the games that we cover. You can watch them all at once or pick and choose which ones you want to watch. If you're a fan of Gaylord St. Mary's, you can check in and subscribe to Gaylord St. Mary's Athletics and check out some of their games. ElkRapidsFootball.com is your home for all the Elk Rapids games. Click on the Watch Live, and you can see the whole list of games for the Elk Rapids season.
And for you, those of you watching on the Raider Athletics channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Keep those numbers going up on our channel so it gets out to more of our fans and viewers as the Elks go for an onside kick.
Oh, they may get it, too.
Yeah.
Yes, they got the first man. You had Braden Flutie come up and hit the receiver of the ball as he was getting it, and then you had another player come in and receive it. Looked like Maddox Koch, the reception on that.
Brooks Plackmeyer for the Raiders got the touch on it there, but just couldn't quite get it under him.
So again, on a chance to work on some things, and good execution by Elk Rapids getting the onside kick. And even with the 41-8 score, you're also giving Charlevoix some things to look at on film.
No doubt, yeah. A couple more things to work on here for the Raiders as they get into the 3 biggest games of the season for them.
And it looks like next week's looking to be a bigger and bigger game as Mansalona keeps running over East Jordan.
It's be 1st and 10. Mansalona is setting up shop at
Here comes
Elk Rapids.
There you go. Had to say it, didn't I? There goes Trammell. He's going to try it out wide. He's got Trey Dennis. Tried to do an over the shoulder, not quite going to be there. Falling complete.
more. Yes, we do have a couple messages in here.
Nice.
From Stay Off This, great job, Raiders. And also, Elks not bad. They just need to be in the right spot and do their job better.
Oh. Simple yet effective.
Fair, yeah.
Trammell out of the pistol with a pro set. Flag on a play. He'll roll to the right. He's looking for a receiver. Going to throw to the down man first. It looks like Carlisle. That'll be incomplete. Let's see what the flag is.
Yeah, the ref threw that flag with about as much energy as we have up here in an 85-degree press box at a October 3rd night where temperatures were getting close to 87 degrees at one point in the sun today.
Looks like illegal shift on the offense. Decline.
3rd and 10 right from the center of the Elk Rapids logo, which I will say, Eric, looks very sharp.
Yeah, they do a great job here. Again, I love these facilities. You know, and when we do the basketball games, you always love to rave about that gym facility and that weight room in there. That thing is just amazing.
Elk Rapids has for sure taken a lot of pride in their athletic programs recently, and that gymnasium, weight room, all that stuff in their state of the art.
Trammell on 3rd down. He's got the screen to Flutie with a head of steam. He's got a 1st down and more down to the 45 where he's wrestled out of bounds.
There you go.
Again, using the speed game and getting it out wide. It's kind of like we talked about a little bit.
Even from when I watched him last year, I can definitely tell Flutie has picked up some decent speed.
Yes. Yeah, you know, play your sides and see maybe you want to try like a quick jet sweep to the strong side this time, you know, and see what you can get. But you also got, you know, Trammell's also being able to get a little bit of time. You can also get some passes downfield, too. As we'll put trips on the strong side. Trammell going to air it out to Carlisle.
Oh, nearly grabbed out of the air by Doug Morgridge. Boy, he wished he could have that one back.
Yeah, Morgridge seemed to be the receiver in better position. Carl almost had to play defender on that. Let's see if I can't get one more update from East Jordan before we are done here tonight. Whew. Under 2 minutes ago at Boswell Stadium. Mansalona 36, East Jordan 16.
Wow. I did not see that coming.
Neither did I, especially after what I saw last week.
Right.
Here come the Elks.
Here they come.
Pitch out to Turner. Met right at the line of scrimmage. He may get a yard.
Yeah. Give him about 2, actually. Well, no, I guess not. All right. I was getting excited for him. Okay, I was trying to give him a little something.
Maybe a little bit helps, buddy.
Yeah, I guess so. Have you taken care of your awards tonight?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Took care. Yes, I just make sure I thank my sponsors one more time.
I'm gonna hold on.
Trammell. I lose one tackler. He's like he's still lose the second one.
My
and
God.
Then the rest of the Raider faithful are going to come in and haul him down for a loss on the play.
Credit to him for evading what he did, but Casey Vondren and Nolan Miller just came up to be too much for him as they fell all over. Like I tell you, semi-trucks crashing in there.
And we've had so much to cover in the booth tonight. So before this game ends, I want to quickly thank our sponsors on the Elk Rapids side: Pro Seamless Gutters, TVC, Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, Brothers Tree Service, Pearls New Orleans Kitchen, Bingham Insurance, Mid-Lake Builders, and Sky Media 45. Thank you all for supporting the Elks.
And by the time the game's over with, we will, because we're still waiting. Charlevoix could have a couple big plays yet, but I have one play in particular in mind for the Charlevoix Agency Insurance play of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me, and I'm like, yeah, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That was a great play.
So we'll see how the final minute and 20 seconds goes here. Nearly intercepted again by Morgridge. He's got to get a little more stick
I'm
on
not
his
sure
gloves.
Jake Moore was ready for that pass, but Trammell's ready to throw it, and the Raider defender was almost the one ready to intercept it.
I'll tell you, if Morgridge was able to get that one in, that might have changed my mind, but so far it's holding steady. Minute 17 to go as the Raiders look to take the field once more, get a couple of snaps in, and that will chew up the clock.
So as we wind down this game, Shane, is anything you're looking forward to for next week's game for the Raiders? Bringing in what it now looks like a nice-looking win for Mansalona tonight.
I got to say, that's the thing I'm most looking forward to, and credit here to Elk Rapids. They've played a very tough game of their own all night long, but Charlevoix has handled business by 30-plus points or more every single game since week 2. And as good as that is, it'd be nice to see some tough competition for the Raiders to go up against as they work their way close to the postseason. Keep their starters out there for 4 quarters and really get everyone to work and play a full game. That's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, and see some good, tough competition. And Mansalona the last few years has been great at that.
You know, Elk Rapids has a very winnable game next week. They can put things together.
No doubt
with,
about it.
I think it was Tawas I mentioned. Yep. So a very winnable game for them. And they have some other winnable games on their schedule, although I can't believe we're through 6 weeks of the season already.
We're 6 weeks through with week 1 weather, that's for sure.
Charlevoix playing good sports. They're going to take a knee a couple times and run this game out.
Yes,
and just real quick before we end this game, I'll remind you one more time, make sure you are checking out the Next Level Broadcasting show where you can see the highlights of this game and highlights of the other games from this week, along with previews of next week's game. Shane, take her away.
All right, as we go into our post-game wrap-up, sponsored by Gray Gables of Charlevoix, South Point Collision, and Charlevoix State Bank, we want to thank you all here for tuning in. Eric, any final words before we wrap this one up?
Nice to see Charlevoix for the first time this season. They are as good as advertised, exactly what I expected tonight. Elk Rapids did some good things, but, man, they were going to have to put a complete game together if they were going to have any chance to play with the Raiders, who just seem to be steamrolling right now. And so, again, a winnable game next week for Elk Rapids. Let's see if they can't put it together, and a nice game for the Raiders coming up next week, and can't wait to check both of those out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Charlevoix is going to have their hands full with the final 3 weeks of this season, but before we head out, we got to give that Charlevoix Agency Insurance Play of the Game award to Kaylin Titus on that 35-yard fingertip catch down there.
Yeah, if we had that we could show for awarding that, man, the way he's outstretched out there and got that with his fingertips, definitely play of the game.
Great job by him and the rest of the Raiders again as they go on top 41-8. Their 6th win of the season in week 6. So for all of us here at Next Level Broadcasting, you got Burr, you got Ryan running the cameras.
Yep.
Yeah. We got Burari, Ryan Bentley. There we are.
There you go.
I'm getting tired, ladies and gentlemen. We got Emma Brown here doing a great job running the 1s and 2s. Eric Huffman and myself, Shane Smith. We want to thank all of Charlevoix's sponsors once more before we head out. Charlevoix Barber, Martin Concrete, Charlevoix Auto, Jim Rio Ford, Professional Seamless Gutters, Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, Bingham Insurance, Villager Pub, Charlevoix State Bank, South Point Collision, Fresh Coast Sliders, Skydive, Charlevoix, Wilmot Electric, Swanson K&D, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Sky Media 45, The Lake House, Edge Attractants, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Ace Hardware, Spencer Bryan Realty, Great Lakes Asphalt, Gray Gables Restaurant and Catering, and BC Pizza, as we listen to the Michigan State Spartan fight song, or in this case, Elk Rapids fight song. We're going to send it on out of here, ladies and gentlemen, so have a great night. And we hope to see you again very soon next week for both of our broadcasts.
Today's game brought to you by Bingham Insurance Services, Charlevoix State Bank, Wilmot Electric, Charlevoix Auto, The Villager Pub, Swanson K&D, Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, Fresh Coast Sliders, Martin Concrete, Charlevoix Ace Hardware, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Sky Media 45, The Lake House, Power Feed of Charlevoix, South Point Collision, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Culver's of Charlevoix, Skydive Charlevoix, BC Pizza, Great Lakes Asphalt Services, Gray Gables, Charlevoix Barber Shop, Professional Seamless Gutters, Spencer Bryan of O'Brien Real Estate, and Ward Marina. We thank you for watching tonight's game.
Your next stop for flavor, freshness, and fun is Gray Gables Restaurant. Since 1936, we've been serving up delicious gourmet dishes and drinks in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Everything is made using fresh ingredients, including locally sourced meat and fish. Our bar features several local Michigan beers on tap and an excellent bourbon selection. Did you know we also cater? Let Gray Gables enhance your next event with our catering services.
Come dine with us at the Gray Gables Restaurant in Charlevoix the Beautiful.
Located in Charlevoix, Michigan, is Martin Concrete, where they specialize in residential concrete construction, providing high-quality concrete work and guaranteeing customer satisfaction. They're proud to serve Charlevoix and the surrounding areas. No job is too big or too small for Martin Concrete, with services ranging from concrete slabs, footings, driveways, retaining walls, and much more. There's nothing that Martin Concrete can't do regarding concrete. That's Martin Concrete, online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com or give them a call at 231-838-9610.